Hello, my name is Joel Young. I am the creator and custodian of NPA. NPA stands for non-personal awareness, and the NPA process is a simple practice that can help you stop taking things personally. So it's used by many people around the world. It's in over 18 countries around the world for people in their own healing journeys, their own personal growth, if you like. And also it's used by many coaches, healers, practitioners of all sorts of modalities, both as a standalone approach or method to help their clients, but also alongside many of the other wonderful modalities that exist that help us to heal and grow in this amazing time on the planet. So part of inspiring you to engage with NPA and the NPA process is to let you know how it's being used in the world. So I'd love to share with you today some examples of feedback I've had from people, and off the back of that perhaps share some gems about how that can relate to your life or what it points to in terms of the journey that all of us share. Okay, so here I want to talk about the NPA programs. So I teach the NPA programs in the advanced events and the advanced trainings, but I wanted to share with you how people have used them. When I talk about how the programs were born, I tell the story of how I lost 4 sizes. It's 4.5 stone, about, I don't know, 50 pounds in the American vernacular, but a lot of weight just using the NPA programs. So that often inspires people, that story inspires people to work on various versions of weight issues. So I wanted to share a little bit of what some of the feedback has been for that. Okay, so let's start with Elina, who's a project manager in Finland. She says, "It's amazing how the method works so well. I realize that I've built this huge wall or barrier around me because I was very hurt a year ago with my attempts to get a relationship. Physically, the barrier is 10 kilos or more of fat. Now I am doing this program with NPA, and I'm quite surprised how it seems to affect my behavior. I have been focusing on taking care of myself, both physically and mentally." One of the things I love about this, and why I chose to use this feedback to start with, is where she says, "I've been focusing on taking care of myself both physically and mentally." So for me, that shows how in her journey, first of all, there's an awareness and awakening to how she's put on weight as an emotional, mental barrier. And by coming into a place of acceptance with that, she becomes free to go from what is basically a form of self-harm when you're trying to feed yourself up, to protect yourself from life, to a place where at the time she offered this feedback, she was really living in a space where self-care had become the automatic priority. Now you can understand when your behavior changes in such a profound way, then the consequences of the lifestyle are going to come forward. In a sense, she came at it looking at how can I lose these extra 10 kilos, but really underneath it, what she discovered with NPA and what she was able to achieve with NPA was to take much better care of herself, look after her body, and come into some peace and openness and healing around the historic hurt that she'd experienced. Okay, next up, let's have Lucie, who's from Holland, and this came to me via Facebook. She says, "Hi Joel, I've been practicing NPA a lot since the seminar. This gave me the courage to start a rather strict diet, and now I'm using the sentences this weight loss," that's part of the NPA process, "and it seems to work well because I'm losing a lot of weight and I feel great. I'm very active and motivated and not feeling sorry for myself as I did in the past. Love your work, kiss kiss kiss." Thank you, Lucie. So the reason I picked this one is because she says she has the courage to start a rather strict diet. Now that may seem odd. When I experienced my own physical transformation from doing the NPA program, there was no strict diet. It was very natural, very easy. And I love how NPA guides you to meet your issues in a way which is perfect for you. Now, in her case, it seems that the most natural way was to honor her need for structure in her life. So I can't say this is true, I've not spoken to her about this, but I'm imagining that in the looseness she wasn't able to then sort of ground the experience of the change. But the NPA facilitated in her this ability to recognise that she can actually have the courage to just go for it. So in a sense, as I often say, NPA brings clarity. It gave her the clarity to go, I'm going to put a flag in the ground, I'm going to mark it, I'm going to commit, and here I go. And on the back of that, as she says, she suddenly felt much more active, motivated to do the things that her mind already knew were the things that would help her get to where she wanted to go. So next up, I want to share from Kasia Vine, and again this one comes from Facebook. She says, I just wanted to let you know how incredible I found the NPA workshop. As soon as I tackled my weight issues during the practice session, I felt an immediate warm energy expanding in my midsection, growing larger like a balloon being inflated, and then oh so gently just dissipating out. 2 days after the course, I felt at peace regarding my lifelong battle with weight, having started the NPA program you recommended. That in itself is such a relief. Thank you. So I chose this one because of that line there, as she says, where is it? Let me find it. I felt at peace regarding my lifelong battle with weight. Now, one of the things that I love with NPA is it has a soft, gentle energy that meets you where you are. It has no agenda, it will just sit with you like a friend. And in that we can drop a lot of the pressure that we often put on ourselves. If she'd been in a battle for years with weight, what does that do? You're constantly in the struggle, the push, pull. There's a strong attachment, there's magnetic energy pulling the issue and her together. So the NPA helped her to relax and open and just be, and in that, natural, healthier steps just became automatic. And I also love this one because it demonstrates how within the workshop itself or within the training itself you can have these profound shifts of awareness, these healing moments, and things can change right there at the weekend. So weight loss and fitness is just one of those issues that can be very embedded and stuck in our identity. When I first chose to work on that issue, it was like, well, my identity was so strongly embedded in me being someone who just loves chocolate that it seemed like a mad thing to try. And yet I found that I often say I fell out of love with chocolate and fell in love with salad as I did the program, and also of course I fell in love with exercise. These were just natural things that came to me. So just ask yourself if it could be specifically a weight issue, but any kind of seemingly impossibly embedded sense of who you are. This is just who I am, and there's nothing I can do about it, and I've tried everything. Then consider NPA as a new way in. I've had so much feedback from so many people who've said that by using NPA, and specifically the NPA programs, have managed to completely shift these fundamental traits and habits. So hopefully this has inspired you as to what's possible with NPA, and I invite you to come and visit the website joelyoungnpa.com and the npaacademy.com, where you can find out different ways to connect with NPA. We do live events, online trainings, and of course you can always get work with me one-on-one.